go. I was just waiting. I was just sitting there waiting. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit down and wait. So hopefully, I'm kind of looking. I might want to move my little me. I think we need to move. Hang on, let's move the mouse slightly. Oh, there goes the thing. There we go. Just a little bit, so I'm not like stuck in the corner. Okay, so check real quick what's going on. Yeah, I updated my little icon, at least in Twitch. Let's see who we have going. Okay, I was seeing who's on real quick. But yeah, so I updated my picture. I like it. So I was on vacation recently, and that's where I took it. I was going to be on this weekend, but I decided I'm going to work on some stuff, which I'm still not done. There's a couple things I do want to do still. One of those is I do have lights and stuff. I have Lumia Stream. So what I'm going to do is kind of get that all connected. So on one hand, one of the lights you guys can't see. So I have two areas. I have a thing right here on my side. I have a thing behind me. So I'm going to try to angle the camera a little bit better so you guys can see like the corner right here, because I'm like, there's a corner. So you got a back wall, and then I'm literally right here's the wall. I'm touching it right now. So I'm going to kind of organize the shelf. I'm going to organize this whole thing. I got to organize this whole room. So I'm going to probably slowly start doing that. Maybe starting Thursday. Do that a little bit. And then we're going to, like I said, I have some lights. I'm going to hook up the lights. One of them will be for YouTube. So if YouTube wants to do something with one of the lights, YouTube can do something with that light. Twitch, if you guys want to do something with the other light, you can do something with the other light. I do have a light strip type of thing. So all my lights are also Philip Hue lights. So I have the light strip. It's like, I don't know, it's like maybe 6 feet long or something like that, maybe 7. Which is hooked up, right? I mean, it's all hooked up and everything's just not on. So I have to go through and get all that hooked up and working too. That is going to be the next thing I'm going to be working on. So let me stop this real quick. So, but anyways, and I was also working on a kind of like an ask type thing. So you can do, I mean, it doesn't work. You can do it. It's just not going to do anything right now because it's not working correctly. So if you were, !ask, and then you type what you want, because it requires input. I have it also set up so I think I can read what it's going to say. I'd have to look more into that just to make sure it's not inappropriate. But I think in my queues or my pending actions, I could probably look and see. And it's both for YouTube and it's for Twitch as well. Eventually I'm going to make that kind of be a bit thing, super low, maybe no more than like maybe 10. So 10 bits, and you can like ask a question. So yeah. So like I said, I've been, doing any IT question really is kind of, hopefully I know a little bit about music as well, because that's what I'm practicing. I've been at it for at least 5 years. So I have a little bit of knowledge, knowledge and theory. So, stuff that could, maybe help you guys out with, which probably not, because I'm a horrible teacher at music at least. Or, just kind of, just like any IT questions or comments or something, is what I was thinking of using it for. Like I said, nothing inappropriate. Hopefully I can read what it says, so I'll have to look at that. Which I could might be able to see in the, at least if someone puts it. But like I said, eventually we'll go over to bits. I just have to figure out how to do that. But right now we're not going to worry about that. We're going to worry about getting our jump to work. So I asked both ChatGPT and Grok or whatever. Grok, I think. And they both came up with, here's Grok's reply. Looking at this code, it's pretty straightforward. So, I mean, if we look through here, you're going to have your jump and your stop jump and your land, right? So perfectly, it's normal. The only issue is that this is going to be not in the player controller. So once that we can then have to move it from instead of being on the actual, which one is it? It is, let me do this real quick. So let's kind of make this a little bigger. We can stop this real quick. We can then go over here. It's really wide for some reason. I don't know what happened. But yeah, so we have a player controller instead. Oh, hang on, we're putting on this one. And it's a, let me see. If we go up, we can tell. Actually, it looks like it's just a... What's wrong with this? Which it is. It's a const. I don't know why it's saying that. So I was messing around with this. So the issue is that we can't get control within the player controller. Can only get it in the character, right? Okay, I get that. We'll need to do some research on how to do this. So what we could also do is, oops. Or at least one of the things we could look at is, instead of doing this, we could ask them. Hang on, let me make sure I did not close it. Let me close some of the bookmarks. We'll hide the bookmarks. So let's close out of some of these other ones. So if we look at what is it called? So we go here. Oh yeah, and Ozzy died. I was so sad. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to learn how to play Crazy Train, and that's what I'm working on right now. So not only am I working on improvisation, so I'm listening to songs like the song we have right here. I could probably like throw some bass on. I hear the bass right now, but I throw some of my own bass on there. You know, just kind of play with it. I just have to figure out, you know, what the chords are in it. You know, the main chord, and then, you know, so that I can kind of go through and get that done. But I could do that eventually. My ears are not the best, so I'm just probably not confident that much. Chat. Oops. So if we look, like I said, I'm using this to more kind of understand. Oh, we'll stay logged out. Unreal 5 with CPP. Create a custom jump function on a player controller. Okay, so we're going to copy that, ask the same thing to him, this one, or her, I don't know. It could be either or neither. So if we look here, so so my custom character. So to me, that's not really the player controller. All right, so we can check some of the stuff. I think we have the bindings already. So let's look at ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a little more straightforward, which I do like. So we're not looking at the pawn. So we're looking at the player controller. So they didn't create the class that inherits the player controller. Okay, so we did do this. Okay, so if we go over here. So Grok didn't give me anything. This actually gave me something. So we're doing the player controller. And then we're doing the... So here's our basically our functions to, you know, handle jump. So it's, you know, do the jump and then you're stop jumping. And then in the CPP file, if we scroll down, if we look right here. Okay, so your cast... Oh, yes, the get pawn. So if we look at... what is it? If we look at some of the older blueprint stuff, you do cast it. So you grab get pawn, and then you would cast it to something. I forget what it was. So we could try this, and this might work. But... So what's custom jump, though? That's the whole thing. We have to... all right. See, like release. That's what I mean. I think it might work. But the thing is it's using an input component, which. So how do you create a custom jump function on a player controller using enhanced or enhanced? What is it? Hang on, let's go look real quick. It's right here. So if we do here, we are using our enhanced input component. There we go. Let's try that. Maybe because I don't want to use what they're saying exactly. And this is another thing. So the T-object pointer, I still need to do a little bit of research on it. If we look at my thing right here, I have way too much stuff, but there's an inventory system, and I do have things to look into. So one of those things is, find. It's is this. It's in and of itself, and then kind of comparing it to the U input action as well, because you'd use one over the other on some instances. So I don't fully understand that. So like I said, this is I don't think that's actually C++ in and of itself. I think that's related to the actual engine. All right. All right. So if we look here, because I'm looking for some ideas. So, define the input action in C++. So in your player controller, which is fine, I know this. So we do have our jump action, which if we look, so if we look back here, let me minimize that. So if we look back here, so we already have a number of things. So we have the move set up, so the move should be working correctly. We don't really need this open right now. We can undo that. So the jump is what we need to look at first. We're going to, delete that. Do this. There we go. And if these red lines mean that I have, GitHub Desktop. So I do have GitHub Desktop. So I can, change. If something changes and I don't like it, I can kind of go back. But anyways, if we look, hang on, we were doing something. I just don't remember. Here we go. So if we look here, okay, so we're in the header. So if we look at the header, we already have our jump action, right? And we're using our T-object pointer like we should. This is giving it a category of where to find it, and then you can edit the thing anywhere. So you can edit in Blueprint, I think. Like I said, I still need to understand the U property more, but... And then we have this. So if we look here, so it's looking like it's doing a press and a release, and you need to have this specifically. I do remember that. Was the const f input action value. So we don't need on jump release, because that would be you probably just releasing it. So what if we go into here? If we look, let me save quick. But anyways, if we look in here, that would be taken care of right here, because we're just triggering it. So we hit it once, we can hold it. It's not going to do anything because we already hit it. I'm pretty sure when we release it, we then would have triggered it. So it should be jumping. So what we need to do is, if we look in here, and I'm not going to copy this out, I'm going to look at it. So where's this custom jump though? Oops. Custom jump. Oh shoot. All right, let's scroll down real quick. So if we scroll up, let's go right here. So right here is where we ask the question. So let's kind of go down. So if you look right here, we're near the bottom. So let's switch this real quick. So if we go up, so it's using the built-in jump function, which I don't necessarily want to do. There's some, I don't know if I have it. I thought I might have copied it, but I don't think I did. So if we look at, I gotta move all these. These images are like things I've been using for a inventory system we'll be working on a little later. And this really isn't my type of music either. All right. So jump count, max jump count, this velocity we're gonna need. You know, how high we'll jump. There's also going to need to be an art thing as well. So if we create custom jump in Unreal, oops. Okay, so this is like you'd have to use curves and stuff, which is gonna be kind of fun to try to figure out. So simple jump. I'm kind of let's. Okay, so first let's grab this real quick. I think I have Chrome set up so you guys can hear what's going on. So let us go into Chrome. This one. We're going to pause. I think I have Chrome.
There are a lot of files that are already made inside of Unreal Engine's code that we can use to build simple things that already exist. For the purposes of today, we will be looking deeper into the A character class, which is the parent class of our Dino character that we had built last time. If you want to see the specific header file search for keyword jump, we're now going to go and look through to see if we have a method that's going to be easy for us to use here. Now, this is,
like I said, Unreal has their own jump.
Research, but eventually, as you scroll through this stuff, and this is what I had to do the first time when I was researching this, you're eventually going to find something called jump. So we can
so what he's doing is I think he's going through. Let's make this bigger real quick. Oh, is he going through? I think that's his. Never mind. I thought he was going through.
Here that we have a blueprint callable character category jump function that we can use. And then it also has an equivalent takedown function called stop jumping. We're going to keep that in mind for later. So now that we know what we're looking for
thought
jump,
we could go through and
if I do the same thing and Control F search for duck, you'll notice that no results appear. And that's because apparently I chose a weird word. If we instead change this to a synonym, crouch, we're now going to find some stuff that we can use. Namely, we have crouch and uncrouch. A little bit different in terms of the approach they're using in the wordplay.
I'm pretty sure this is done
the same
through.
End result. We have starting the
I don't
crouch
think he
and
did all
ending
this.
the
I'm
crouch.
pretty sure this is actually.
Now you'll notice that both of these variables do require us to pass in a Boolean B client simulation.
So
that's not the most important thing.
Let's pause that real quick. So if we were to look up in our engine, hang on, let's see where he is. Let's see how he got
Which is the parent class of our Dino character that we had built last time. If you want to see the specific header file or the contract that exists for a lot of these files that you want to see inside of Unreal,
go into
what you can do, at least inside of Visual Studio, is highlight and then press F12.
Okay, so that's so we don't want that because it's a player controller. It's not going to be. Well, hang on. Let's see if I highlight it. Here we go. Okay, so nope, that's mine. We don't want mine. This is what we want. Okay, so here we're in player controller.h. We're actually in the player controller. Okay, so I think we're in here. If we do, I don't think we can find crouch like he was or jump because those aren't part of the player controller. So we can close out of this. What we'd want to do is go into our source, untitled game. We don't want that. So we want character base, I think is the one we want. let's open up character base. So we want a character, show contents, and then we navigate to declaration. So now we're in the character.h, which we can see up here, which is a little different. Like I said, in in Visual Studio, you can get there, like he said, by pressing F12. We don't have that option because we're not using Visual Studio. So if we do jump, so he went down here. So what he was showing is so many jumps. I think it was this one. Make sure the character jumps on the next update. If you want your character to jump according to the time that the jump key is held, then you should set some non-zero value. Make sure that this is called stop jump. So all right, so let's kind of see what's going on with this. So
once F12 is pressed, it will go and search through all of the files to find the one that matches. So you can see here we now have character.h.
Yep.
And this is callable character. So let's just the take down method. I'm going to want to call this when it's completed, and then I want to call a different method, and this time I'm going to be calling stop jumping.
Okay, so
now our jump is set up where we have it when it's triggered, we're
so
going
he
to
is
jump,
ducked
and when
for
it's
the
done jumping, we're going to stop jumping. Now we have to do the same thing for crouch.
Okay.
We can keep our custom duck action here, and the main reason we're going to do that is because I don't actually know how to pass in a Boolean or other variable into this method. I don't think you can. Now, if we go into our custom function here, what we're going to do instead is we're going to call a character, which is us, and we're going to call event, going to create a bit of jumping while we're here, and we're ++ file.
Try to go a little bit further to get, and
we're going to pass in false again. So now that our code backbone is complete for this, we're going to go into Blueprint and make the finishing touches to make sure that everything will work as expected.
The crouch itself.
So I'm going to save everything here, and then I'm going to go back into my project, and I'm going to compile. So with this, it's very important to jump with gravity, and the gravity scale is set to 1 times. That's fine. We can adjust that later. With
what
gravity
did he do to jump?
and our method,
if you go back
that way. So now we've done setup. So now
duck.
we have to make it easier. I'm just going to method that we
jumps right here.
Jump. So now, when our jump action is called by us hitting either the W key or the space bar, it's going to be triggered as long as it's held down, and that's going to cause us to call the jump method that we were just looking at within a character. So now we've done the build up. Now we want to do the take down as well. So
all right, so he's
done to do that is because this easily we're going to pass in line of. We're going to change this to a method that we're going to create called stop duck. From the C++ file because it's now redundant.
What's he doing?
Inside of stop duck, we can now go and do this approach. So now that our
code blueprint is
going to go, the first thing we need to discuss is gravity. We do like gravity, and it's very important to jump.
I don't think he's using anything into the
for us to
blueprint
hit it by clicking on the screen, and then I hit into our blueprint. Now let crouch don't exist. It does. Character is allowed to jump. So let's jump back into play one more time.
Oh, so he had to make sure that the can jump was checked,
just
regardless.
In case there's another error that shows up. And
I wonder if you could do. I don't know if you can do that in C++. But it's easier to toggle it in.
Back into our code. And here what we're going to do is we're basically going to adjust our duck method and give it some logic so that I'm going to cheat and character. Can jump is a method that's detecting if our character is allowed to jump. Our character is only allowed to jump if they're currently on the ground. So it makes sense for us to only want to crouch if we're also on the ground. So if our character can jump, our character is going to be allowed to start crouching. We don't actually need to make any changes to the stop duck because it doesn't matter. That's only called once we're done duck. That does easier to do. And now we can see there's a whole bunch of things that we can adjust. Crouch, the initial velocity when we are jumping, how fast, and make this a nice 1600. I guess that's times 4.
So I guess what we could do
math.
So if we look over here on the blueprint side, right? So I think what we could do is look at what's here, because I mean, you're just would be setting it up in C++ too. You could, like, part of the jump and falling is this, so we probably could set this up and not have to worry, like in C++, and not really have to worry about it. And that's what I think I'll have to, the people I was talking to, they might be on later tonight with the Swashbuckling Fox. So, which actually I probably should give a shout out. But yeah, I'm trying to. So that's the whole thing. So I don't know. I mean, oops, I mean to do full screen. I thought it would be a little bit more in depth on how to do a custom, like, because these are just how to do it, which is just like, hey, you know, you create a custom function and then you just put the jump in. It's not really what I was looking for.
Grammarly now uses AI,
which is
to help
weird
you
because
write.
let me check something. I don't know why it's not premium. Let me switch over to my main account, which is not there. So if I log into my main account, continue. Nope. There we go. Continue. Okay, there we go. I'm like, why am I watching an ad? Because I have YouTube Premium. Oh, and Pirate Software, man. I mean, I like him, like, as a person, but a lot of times when you get, like, really popular, you know, it just goes to your head. So, and you think, you know, things that you say are right because you're so sure of yourself that they're right that you're not going to look and kind of take a step back and kind of think about, hey, is this really correct? Like if you look at, you know, like the Stop Killing Games thing, that is super pro consumer, which he thought it sounds like he is, but then he's like against it because he says it's too broad. Well, I mean, your interpretation might be that it's too broad, but if you actually sit down and listen to the person that didn't start it, but he's trying to help get it going, you would understand that it's not. They have specific things that they're looking for that can be done to help out people who want to keep their games. Like back in the day, I still have all my cartridges and like in all my CDs, you know, or DVDs or whatever they were, you know, for all my games, and I can still load them up and play them without any issues. Well, I mean, besides, you know, hey, those are like Windows 7 or something, and now we're on Windows 11. It could be a pain in the butt to get configured, but now with Steam and everything, it's like, I mean, and all the digital stuff, I'm like, why can't you just code in something that says, you know, like, and then comment it out, and then later on when you're like, hey, we're gonna get, you know, we're letting the game go, you know, we're done, we're not supporting it anymore, just put that code in that you had commented out, that doesn't need to have it go back to the server. I mean, it's your or mark out a section of code that you can take out saying, hey, you know, once we're done supporting this, you know, this is the code section we need to take out. It'd make like perfect sense. But I mean, I guess that's too complicated. So, but yeah, man. Anyways, YouTube is, or not YouTube, Twitch is an ad. So we're going to kind of hold off for a little bit. So, but yeah, let me, actually, let's just do it up here real quick. Create custom jump. If I can spell custom jump for character or player controller. Create custom jump using C++ in Unreal with a controller. I know I spelled that wrong, but I can just click this and it's fine. So we just, wait, we don't, creative. So that's a custom player controller, which custom double jump. We don't want to do a, built-in character move. So use a custom system. So this actually might help. Maybe. It is actually only 10 minutes.
There's two main ways that you can handle this in Unreal Engine, and that is using the built-in functionality
this was 5 months
or
ago.
creating our own system. I'm going to go over both because they're both very. 3, I could jump 3 times without touching the ground. Anytime I land on any surface, I will be able to jump again.
Looks like we're back.
We'll be covering in today's episode if you're interested in variables today. So 2 integers and a float. So I'm scrolling down to my
So
integers.
what is
and I
he
have
doing?
two
Because I can
variables in
guess
here.
into.
I have my
So
jump.
all right, hang on. Let's do this. So jump count, which is going to be what jump you're on, and then the max jump. So we don't want to do a double jump. So we're just gonna leave that at 1. So once it hits 1, it's done. And then what else does he
Count
have?
and my max jump
If we're to
count.
use
So the
this, I'm
first
just
one
kind of
here,
curious.
Jump count is the number of times the character has jumped without landing. If we can jump only once without landing, as soon as we jump, if we reach 1 jump count, we can't jump again until we land.
Yep.
If we
Perfect.
can jump
What I
3
want.
times before landing, then jump count starts at 0. Every time we press the jump input, it increments until we
At
reach
least
3,
for
and then we
this
can
type
no
of
longer
game,
jump.
maybe in
So
another
to
like a
make this,
platformer,
I've
we
set
could
it as a
do
U
like more
property
than
of
one.
edit anywhere blueprint read write, so we can edit it and access it in the blueprint. And then I've given it a
Okay,
category
so that's
if you
fine.
need to. Then we have our int max. Every time we this is also the other jump velocity variable here. The
Okay,
vertical
so here let's just write this down real quick. Let's go into our here. We can close out of this. We can go into our CPP file. What we're going to do is, oops. There we go. So now every time it'll do this. So we need an int. Actually, we probably should add this in the header file real quick though. Just cut that from here. So in this would. Oh. Hello. How you doing, D-Man? That was great. Oh yeah, so D-Man does a lot of Fortnite streaming. I try to jump on when he's streaming too, in case he wants, a partner or some other additional people to play with. Because I personally like not doing solo stuff myself. So, and he says the same thing. So yeah, if you guys like Fortnite, really, really fun person. It's a fun time. So, thumbs up. Actually, 2 thumbs up. We'll just put it right here. So we need int jump. Not bad, just chilling, all about the helps and having fun in a group. Yeah. Int, oops. Max jump counts, floats, jump velocity. Because
velocity at which the character will jump.
Like I said, I even when I go, like if I'm just by myself, I'll do squads.
A character class that Unreal Engine already has. When we want to make our own jump, though, we need to supply a custom value to make our character jump, and this is going to be this jump velocity variable here.
Like I said, I'm just trying to get some ideas
with a category of jump, and it's a float called jump velocity. This way we have full customization of how much velocity we want to apply.
Interesting, they're
jumping.
using
You can think of this like your height, but it's not going to work that way.
Well, I don't think he's going to have anything else.
I want to override a new function today. So I put it in my protected space here, but it doesn't matter where you put it.
Okay, so
just
it's
make
at
sure
14.
you're making a new.
All right, let's go through
So
real
go ahead
quick
and link
here.
that right here in the thing.
I'm curious of
For
where he put
tutorial
those. I think he put those in
We're going
private.
to be adding 3 down to where we make our
Wait, public protect. He's in.
variables.
He added
We're going
into
to
the
be
private,
adding
so he went down to
variables
private.
today. So 2 integers.
If we go back a
variables,
little bit,
character.h and scroll down to where.
so that's public
make
section,
our
and then the protected, and then
variables.
the
We're
next
going
one's private. Oh, protected again. Oh
we'll
no,
be
he's
adding
going
3
down.
variables today. So 2 integers and a float. So I'm
Oh, it's in the protected section. Okay. So, then you would want. So he said there was, and then there's 2. Oh shoot, what is it? There was 2 functions.
integers, and I have 2
We
variables.
did
in
14,
here.
18.
Just make sure you're making a new function in here, and this is going to be overriding the landed function at the character.
Okay, so and then you want a virtual void landed, which uses okay, so const oops, f hits, oops, not hist, hit result. Oh, is it before? It's after. Oops, hit results. That's then hits, and then override. So it means we can change it, I think.
Character has. So landed
And then he has a
is
start and a
another
stop jump. So we do have. We could probably rename this one. We'll cut this out for right now. We'll just do this, and then we'll do our own. So we'll do a void jump, jump action. That'll be a const. F input action value, which it has to be, and then jump action value. Actually, I think I'll just keep this. I think this will work perfectly fine. Cut this out. We'll put this here for now. And then we'll do a void stop jump action triggered. Same thing here. Oops. Yeah, I see what I was doing. So Ozzy died, it looks like. So I decided that I'm going to learn Crazy Train. So my instructor is kind of starting to help me, so I have a number of things that I need to work on. I eventually have it set up where I can hook up my guitar. It just won't work right now. I could probably set that up even right now because I think I have it all set up and should be able to work. I could test it real quick, but it's upstairs. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab something real quick. Okay, so I don't have my guitar. That's upstairs. I gotta go grab it. But I do have my bass. So, oh yeah, here we go. Let's see if it works. It looks like it's working. Okay, so like I said, I have my bass I can play. I could probably play something. I'd have to go look at the notes again, as I haven't played in a little bit. So I have a number of songs I could play, but I'm not going to unless you guys are like, hey, yeah, play a song, and then I'd have to turn it off so it's not in the VOD. Which I don't know if it would be. Let me look real quick. We have guitar should be able to be heard on YouTube as well by the looks of what I have set up. But I probably should figure out which one the VOD channel is. Let me look real quick and see which one the VOD channel is. I forget where that's at. VOD channel is track 3, so we can turn off track 3. So let me do guitar. So bam, that's off. Let me look at YouTube's real quick. I think I set YouTube's audio to be 2. Audio, yep, track 2. So YouTube should be able to hear it. Oop. Oh. Oops, oh my gosh. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I can play. So if that's something you guys want, let me know. I have that set up right now. Let me put this away. I'll just set it behind me. I have a little guitar stand behind me. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, anyways, one of the things I am going to do is make my own music. So we can start this back up. Let me turn down the volume a little bit. So it sounds more like a background Get more ambient. Okay, so we're looking here. We have so he had his stuff in the protected, the landed and whatnot. It looks like landed and even the crouching, start jumping, stop jump. We could probably rename this. So we could probably rename this to something that we know what it means. So this would work. So he said he has all these in the protected, which is this. So what we could do is just literally oops, copy. So we're going to do, so we do this, we do a U property. Let's at least get that there for right now. Start jump. What's going on with this? Void type is only valid as a return type. Is that why it was in protected? Let me check something real quick. Might be why this was down here. No, it isn't. Interesting. The return type. What does that mean exactly? Is only... Void type is only valid as a return type. Void type is only valid return type. I can't even spell. Void inverse. I'm not sure what that means though. Standard types inverse. There's some additional. So I literally. All right. So if we. Let's do this real quick. We'll fix that here in a second. So if we do this, right? So oops, shoot. This works, right? No issue. So why can't we do? So we did start jump. All right, so if that works, this should work too. Okay, it works. What's I don't know what the difference is, man. So void stop jump const f input action value stop jump. Okay. So we can get rid of this. So that means that let me close this. In here, what we're gonna have to do, since we don't have this anymore, we'll have to do start jump here, and we're gonna have to rename this as well. Okay, so Siri bot. Oh, cheap viewers. We don't want cheap viewers. That's dumb. I don't want to deal with that. No, thank you. I don't want to get in trouble over something stupid. That goes against TOS. So if anybody wants to report them as well. For spam. Might be a scam in all honesty. Oh, they're not doing phishing links. Or defraud. It could be, but we're just do spam. I was gonna put something about cheap viewers. reports. Close. All right. Yeah, if you guys want to report him, go for it. That's, you know, against TOS. And oh, they're reviewing it. So input action. So we have our start and our stop, and these are in the private section. So this guy had them was in the pub protected. I don't know why they'd be in the protected. Because if we go back over here, we have our move here, which kind of goes through a number of things. Then we don't have anything here right now. And then we'll do void a character player controller stop. There we go. So we don't want stop action value because that shouldn't be what's in there. Stop action. So if you go back here, yep, just stop jump, my bad. Which is what we have. Go down here. So that should work. So the issue with this is going to be we need to do cast to get into, so we have to cast to the player or get pawn or get owner, I believe. Expecting a comma or okay. Oh, here we go. Switch immediately. The violation. So that's how quick it was. Bam. Sorry, TG. You're done. Don't be stupid next time. So we are protected. Oh, I'm gonna look and see. I don't know. So if we go up to our protected, this is where we want our variables. Int jump count, which we're not gonna set here. Int max jump count, and then we do float jump velocity, which is how fast. Okay, so we have this stuff now. We need to land too. So if we look at custom jump, we have landed here and the protected as well. But like I said, I don't know. We are overriding it. So I guess that's fine. Like I said, this could actually, I think these could go up in the protected. Actually, I think even this could. I think all this could. Let's cut this, move this. Velocity. So we'll do this up here. I don't think we need virtual because we're not overriding it. Because there should be a landed already created. So we don't need this anymore. Okay, so there's that. So we're done in here. So now we got to go through and set these up. So we need to do void landed as well. Move and then void. Oops. Character player controller landed. I don't know how he had it set up. Let's see real quick. Okay, so since we have a const, what is it? F hit, right? Is that what we put? We did, yeah, F hit result. Yep. All right, so F hit result and hits. It's like some sort of pointer, I think. And then we'll do this, I think. There we go. So we have some stuff already. Line 39. Oh, there we go. So that's gone. So now we just are not initialized in this constructor. I don't think they need to be initialized because we're not. Do they though? They might need to be. So let's write the programs first. So what we're going to do is do UE log. Was it warning? Hang on. Shoot, how do you do the loot UE log? I forget. All right, let's look it up real quick. So let's grab this. Unreal 5. Okay, so usually, so you have like a log temp. Okay, so is that log temp warning and then okay, that's I wasn't 100% certain. Log temp, then warning, then text. Or is that in full parentheses for that? Okay, yeah. All right. So text is jump pressed or should be. So I'll just do start, jump, and then we'll do this. So just copy this out real quick. Stop jump. And I don't know what to put for landed though. We're just going to do landed maybe? Because we should already be hitting the ground, so this should already go off. That's how I think. Okay, so, and then if we go here, let's kind of watch this real quick. This, we'll pause this. Go back here real quick and take a look.
Function that the A character, because we're not spawning this character while they're jumping, they're spawning not jumping, so they default. Where we set the default.
Oh yeah, okay, so hang on. Where's he doing that at? Is that in the
First things first, let's set our variables in the constructor here. So here's
Oh, so that's in the constructor. Okay, so basically what's happening is, from my understanding, I'm not the greatest, so we can copy this and we'll put this in here, up here and here. So so do this. We don't need those because we already declared them in the header. Oops. So jump velocity 600F. Max jump count is 1. Jump count equals 0 maybe? That's what I would think because we haven't done anything. So if we look here,
our constructor, we're setting default values, and we want to set our jump.
Yep, so our jump count is set to 0 and he's doing a double jump, which we're not going to do. And then his velocity is probably going to be.
The jump count should be 0 because we're not spawning this character while they're jumping. They're spawning not jumping, so they default to 0 jump count. Max jump count is how many jumps we want to allow this character to perform without landing. So I'm going to set it to 2.
Which we're not. We're doing 1.
You could allow upgrades influence this, so you could have.
Yeah. So what he's basically saying is with the upgrade. So if you have skills and stuff, you can have it be able to do double jump. Since we're doing more of a top-down game, I don't think that's going to be necessary. So here's this stuff, right? So if we...
Because I think that's a good velocity. 500. So here's start jump. Now directly above this, I've added the landed function.
All right. Oh, yeah. You see? Super. So the super, you're taking... So this is... Oops. I also have like half an hour left before I do have to go. So super landed... which I don't think will work. It's so why can't resolve symbol landed. Okay, so there might need to be more with that. If I go back here, because there is... So this is saying you can't resolve landed, and you can't resolve landed because the player controller doesn't have landed. So I need to figure out how to change that so it does. There we go. And that is where I'm not... It's where I'm kind of not sure. Because, like... He's using, a lot of people don't use the player controller. So I'm trying to make the player controller have all this stuff on it rather than putting it on the character itself. So, and I could read this. So it's saying if your menu is not open, You are not dead. Your movement state is not rolling, so you're not like doing some sort of dodge. And your movement state is interacting in your is not interacting with NPC, so you're not talking to someone. You can now jump. It's saying then if your jump count is less than your max jump count, launch character using this stuff, velocity and whatnot. And I'd have to look to see, but like I said, this is it's gonna be a lot harder because they're on the character rather than the player controller. So we would have to look to see how to do that, and that's kind of where I'm not sure as well. I have probably a ton of windows open. Hang on, let me close them. Let me see. Oh geez. So we have this one. Let's leave that one. We have this one we can kind of close. We have this one which we can close. We have this one which we can close, and we can go back to this one. Let's keep that open. Let's go to because they're like okay. So ChatGPT was it's using the built-in jump, which would not work. That's the whole thing, because it's only on the character. You'd have to like cast to grab the character, so you can grab the character has the movement, which would include jump and crouch and whatever else. You'd have to cast saying, hey, we want to use the character and then the character movement over here in this side, rather than over there, which we can't do. Yeah, see right here. So you're creating my character, and you're casting from this character to get the pawn, which will allow you to get that custom, to get the things. Which I don't. Why would you do that? You shouldn't be doing that. I don't think. Yeah. Oh, ads are about to start though, so I'm thinking. All right. So we so Unreal 5 C++, how to get landed onto player controller. That's not what I'm... Because basically what you're trying to do, so what landed is it's making sure you're on the ground. That's why you have this hit. It's F hit result hit. So it's looking, because you're hitting the ground. So it's making sure you're on the ground before you actually jump. So that's should I have done it this way is now the next question, because this is a lot more difficult to do than okay, so let's look up landed. So what if we let me do this. So Unreal 5 landed. See, it's on the character, so it's not on the... So I need to have character.h. I wonder, can you do that? So let's check real quick. Do we have character.h? We have character.h, so... Why is it not... show context. Navigate to declaration. So that's where it's declared. Okay. Okay, so I'm slowly trying to figure this out. Cannot resolve symbol landed. So it can't resolve this because it's not on this. and you're like, hey, can I do character? Let's see if this would work. It is not working. I'm like, we can try. It didn't work. All right, player controller. Okay, so did I do virtual void? So if we go back here, I did do virtual void. Called upon landing when falling to perform an action needed on the hit result. Triggers on the on-landed event. In this event. This just tells where it's at and what header it's located in, or where the header is that it's located in. Okay. I'm not sure how to... player controller. Okay, to detect... The landing event is part of the U character movement component, which is often accessed by the player. You can override the... But I don't want to... I want to override it in the player controller. You can get from the player controller using get controlled pawn or get player character. Okay, so if we look here... So they're... Okay, so... Is this in the C++ file, though? Okay. I mean, I know what's going on. So this has a possesses... Super possess if... In your player controller class... That's what I'm trying to figure out if this is in the header or not. ATTS player controller possesses. So they're creating a pawn of a pawn type. And then they're super possess. So it's So if we look here, I'm not like I don't want to know the differences. I just want to know how to be able to do it, though. UE4, how far back is that anyways? It's 1 year, so they're still using UE4 from a year ago. How to possess a character in Unreal, how to set a player character. In Unreal 5, we don't... Let's see. It's not what we want. I know how to do this. Okay, so that's pretty much useless. Pretty much useless. Oop, didn't mean to do that. I put C++ though, didn't I? Oh shoot, I need that open, I think. Let's go back. okay, so how to have, hang on. Hang on. Unreal 5. Have, what is it? How to have a character landed, oops, in the player controller. C++. How to get player controller in. So this is the documentation again. How to cast the player. See, I know how to cast. It's just it doesn't make any sense. Would I? So we have this. So then what I in here? What I do? What was it? It's like was it like a character player controller? Oh, what can we name this? Controller equals cast this. Would it be this? So then this, then it. But how would I take this specific variable for and use it here? See, there's some things I just don't know yet, and that's what's being a noob. You just gotta research, which I didn't really want to do on stream. But you want to know what? I guess it's a journey, so you're all coming with me. Yes. Try accessing the character later. For example, override PC's. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So, oh, this is what we were just looking at. Hello, everyone. I have a problem getting character in my player control. I have this code. So he's copied this from what we literally were just looking at not that long ago. And this is from 2014. That's, oh, no, it's not. It's from, oh, it is from 2014. Wow. Fine. I can access the character when I try. Okay, so this used to display an on-screen message. You know, it was red. I'm not sure exactly. This is you did a full null check. Ignore it until. Characters. Okay. So I don't know why he's using this as your default. So this is kind of old. I don't know how well it's going to work. Override, for example, override PC's possess this function called, which is what I try to do. So if we look here, it's what I was working on. So this didn't really work. I'm going to cut that though. So so see, it can't resolve this symbol. I don't copy problem description. Let's throw it in here, I guess. I got a lot of stuff open. So no, because the whole issue, like I said, the whole thing is I have a player controller, and it was pretty much this. So I have a player controller, and I'm putting everything in the player controller. So should this be on the player, or should this be on the should this be here? Right? So should this be on here, and then we can call it from the character. Oops. It'd be this one. Nope, this one. No. Oh, it's public. It'd be private. My bad. So if you go here to go to characters, here it is. This one. So we have all our, stuff here for this. So I'm kind of curious if that's how it's done, rather than, putting it here. But the thing is I remember specifically when I was doing this all in blueprints that we were able to use the player controller in the blueprint. You just did the whole cast thing that was going on to be able to cast to the player, and then they actually use the the movement component, the player movement component from the actual character itself, you know, in the player controller. So in this case, in our character, player controller. So that's why I thought it would be here, but do we need? I would think we would. Unreal 5 can a character land. Oops. Be used. Can that be used in? That be used in the player? No. The function. Yeah, I know that. Specifically, it's got to be triggered when a character lands after falling. Player can input and control the pawn, which is often a character, but they don't directly handle the physical landing event. Is to receive input from the player. Mouse key. Okay, so that makes sense. So the landing event should be not accessing. Well, you can't directly indirectly if the character possesses the. So okay. See, now they're talking about blueprints, so we need to figure this out for C++. This says using. Okay, hang on. I gotta get something to drink. We don't have too much time left, so I might actually work on this off stream to try to get this to work. And then maybe make a little video on YouTube of what I did, and then kind of show you guys when I stream next, which is probably going to be Friday. Saturday is my birthday, so I will tell everybody Saturday is my birthday. And I will not be streaming till night, because I have my. So the funny thing is, oh nice, 5 consecutive streams. User notice. So I'll be streaming Friday. I'll probably be streaming kind of late. My daughter works till 11, so I'll probably be streaming till like 10 or 10:30. Saturday, so it's not only my birthday, but it's my daughter's graduation party. So I'll be going to that. So I'll be streaming later on in the day, at night, Saturday. And I might kind of go really late, depending on how I'll. Like I said, I feel so. I'll finish real quick. So Sunday, since Saturday and Sunday, I think it's gonna be hot here, so I'll probably stream maybe in the not early morning, but mid morning. So my wife and I can go for a walk. You know, it's kind of cooler out. And then I'll probably stream, 10 or 11 until maybe 3 or something. But the whole thing is I get kind of anxiety because I feel that I'm stupid because I don't want to do this on stream. But then again, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting trying to figure out how to find stuff. So I might just keep doing this. Hopefully it's not too boring for everybody. But I get really that's kind of why I don't stream sometimes, is because I don't know what I'm doing. I feel stupid and I don't want people to think I'm stupid. So I'm like, I'm not going to stream. So I got that out. So that's kind of why I don't stream sometimes. I just need to sit down and be like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? This is about me. And if people want to come in and chat, I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll chat with anybody. I don't care. I might kind of still chat with you as I'm looking up some stuff and try to copy and paste some things just so I have some references later. And like I said, I still should actually start working on this off stream, since I can't stream all the time, just so that I can start building. Because if I don't, my little penguin's falling. Because if I don't, I forget things, and I don't want to forget things. If I'm constantly working on it, it'll help me out. And then I can show you guys what I did, which is probably not a whole lot right now. I don't know what I was doing here, but the whole thing is this. So you can access, you can't directly use this, the landed that we're looking for. You can access it from. So if the player possesses so if your player controller possesses your character, you can get a reference to the character that tells it, and then call a custom event or function on the character that's triggered by the land event. So So if I was looking at that, how do we, so Unreal 5, C++, how do we have the player controller? Look here, possess a character, possess a character, possess, I think that's right. So we can get a character landed. That's not too long ago. How do we get a... So let's keep that maybe. So I'm implement spawn. Okay, so spawn under this. Random. So the location is random. Here to, I'm not sure, but if I run this one, it leaves a running void. Hidden bool on the character. Okay, so it's not gonna help. I'm sorry. It's shoot. This is what I have to be doing all day, so I'll have to be doing this for a little bit. How do I get to put? I've been looking for resources on obtaining a. So far, I have a few questions about enabling input. So if we do. So instead of doing it here, let's go over here, right? Instead, but how are we can cast and get this? So if we were to actually set this up, so instead of doing this, right? What if we ignore that temporarily for right now? I'm going to close out of some of this real quick. So we're going to remove landed. So what we're going to do is I might put that on the character we have, our player character, and then from there we will then try to call it later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I want to see if we can get this to work real quick. So it's being these warnings in our log. So we have our bind action triggered. I don't know. I think we'll need stop jump too, but I don't know. I think it was enhanced. Input components, bind action. And then we'll do, we have a jump action. What's jump action? So what is this? Let me do this. And then let me do this real quick. Actually, you want to know what? No. I know what we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. It's jump action. Oops. I don't know where jump action came from, so don't ask. At least right now. I'll have to figure that out. Completed this object, so our player controller, and then shoot. Dang it. So it's stop jump. Okay. So I can try and see what happens. I don't think it's going to work though. So we're just testing to see if it's going to pop up in the log. Oh my gosh, I have so much stuff. Hang on, we got to let's see. Hang on. I just realized there's an issue. I'll look at it here in a second. It looks like we're missing something. Audio group. Okay, so what's that? That is. Oh, you're lurking. Okay, so that's your lurk one. Okay. I'll be here for a little bit longer, not too much. I'm just trying to. So if we do this, nope. If we do this, nope. If we do this one, there we go. I found it. So let's go like this. Oops, nope. Let's do that. This and then shift, go down, boom, perfect. Sorry, this. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so it says on line 43, we're missing a. Oh, here. There we go. Now, notification. Oh, so then we'll debug. We click the bug. So hopefully this will work. If this works, then we can start implementing some of the other things we've done, but it's just not going to be tonight. Like I said, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I just wanted to at least stream to let, hey, I'm alive, I'm home, I'm well, had an awesome time, vacation. Kind of why I'm streaming right now. Like I said, Friday's going to be kind of longer, Saturday's going to be kind of long, and Sunday's going to be kind of long. So Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to try to get this set up a little bit, so then we can kind of move on to the crouch, and then we can start working on the animations, which are going to be the fun part. I still would have to do stuff with the jump as well, like the curves, which I have an idea. So I just don't know how to do it exactly. So it's more custom, like the fall and whatnot. You can use a some sort of curve probably in the animations. It's still running. I'm not sure when it's going to pop up though. Let's grab something to drink. Oh, it's up and running. I'm like, where's it at? It's right here. So, if we push play, Shift F1, we do our output log, dock it. Perfect. So space isn't working. Okay, so let's look and see what we have real quick. Inputs. Okay, we do have a jump. Let me make sure it's set up right. Set that up there. Digital bool, so it's either you're jumping or not. That's fine. So if we go back over here to our movement, jump is set to space bar. So this is telling me, one, that I need to set this up. Is it editor? I always get confused. Yep, it's right here. Oops, no, main window. I always forget to do that. So now it'll open up in the main window. So it's not going to pop off on my other screen. But we have a jump. So if we go into our here. Jump action. So we have move action. Where's move action? Okay, so here's the issue. Here it is. So if we look right here, we have our move action says this, in the blueprints. I don't know how to link it. How do I? It's not linked to. So if we go here, should be a move. Oop. So our move action is just right there. Move action, I found, press F3 to search the top. So it's just right here. So I hope it wasn't that, but so that's going to be the other issue I need to look into, is what's going on with that. Okay. So yeah, how is this linked? That is going to be the issue. Oh, we're going to have ads running here in a second. We're going to postpone ads because, like I said, we have to. I do have to kind of get going. Like I said, 9:30 was kind of my end. So YouTube, we're going to get going. Like, I will kind of look more into this, try to get it to work. Once I get it to work, I will tell you guys what I have done to get it to work. Just I don't know, like I don't understand why this works here, but it doesn't here. That's the whole thing. That's what I need to figure out. Once we get that figured out, then the rest of the stuff should start falling in line. So other than that, YouTube, bye. I'll see you guys. Hopefully you have an awesome day or night or whenever.